A wild new PvPvE shooter is about to enter its beta. We'll check out some of the recent updates, the launch time for that beta, all the brand new details, the systems, the big events that are going to be happening, as I also deep dive to see if this game is actually worth your time. We got a ton to talk about. What's up, world? Eutopia here, back in with another video. Today we're checking out all things Ascendant. Okay, so let's just check out this new indie shooter, as it does feel related and almost hits that specific itch with Apex, Halo, and even Tarkov mix, although it is kind of amped up in some areas. Now, to just give like a quick brief explanation of this game, because I know some of you haven't heard of it or haven't seen it, although I've been following this game for quite a long time now, almost a few years at this point. Even in the very early days when the game was a bit different, they have mixed around and actually changed it to now be a 4 teams of 3 PvPvE shooter, where you're fighting over these things called limited Biocores, where it has a map that keeps changing, where essentially those Biocores are super high value flags that you steal and then extract. Only a few actually do spawn, so at least one team always goes home with nothing. The gunfights do feel closer to Apex or even Halo speed. That's kind of as far as TTK goes. It's not like COD where you get melted in one frame. I'll go over a ton of the other details later, but there's crafting and a bunch of other cool things, a social hub, player hub, which are really cool there, even training and team deathmatch inside that little social hub. There's a ton of cool stuff there, but I do want to get onto the major details here. The first one, as I mentioned, yes, this game actually is launching in beta this weekend, so you can feel free to try it and check it out. Now, they are opening different servers here for NA and EU, but typically you can play in either of those. You don't have to just play in the NA servers or EU servers. You can actually play on both. Of course, do be wary though, you'll have much higher ping there. But yes, this is opening up this Saturday, December 13th, and the Sunday, December 14th. Now, on both days there, they're going to have the servers open for 4 hours each. So for EU, the matchmaking opens up here at 10 a.m. my time, which is 10 a.m. CST or 11 a.m. EST, and that will make that 8 a.m. PST. I'll do a timetable here so you can see other regions just in case. Especially if there is any EU viewers here, I do actually kind of want to have the time zones there appropriate for you guys. And then those servers will then close at 2 p.m. CST, which would be 3 p.m. EST, and as well as 12 p.m. PST. Now, as far as the NA servers go, they actually do launch later in the day, so if you're not there for the morning of Saturday or Sunday, you can always get into the NA server launch. Those are going to open up with the matchmaking beginning at 4 p.m. CST, 5 p.m. EST, or 2 p.m. PST, with the servers then closing 4 hours later, so that would be 8 p.m. CST, 9 p.m. EST, or 6 p.m. PST. So again, a bit of a variance there. Now you might be asking, well, how can I get into this beta? Is it an open beta? Is it a closed beta playtest? Well, it is partially closed here, but you can request access, to which you can do so via their Steam page. As it says here, you can request access there. However, I have one other method to get access, where I actually do have 10 keys to give away. So those are going to be over on my Discord, and I'm going to give those out over the next couple of days. Especially today, we'll probably give out 5 today, and then 5 again tomorrow. That way you guys are all geared up and set to go if you did want to jump into the actual playtest. Speaking of that, and what's really cool here is that I actually should be inside of the game, or at least my YouTube channel should actually be inside of the game and featured there. So hopefully that's the case there. I do believe my channel is going to be featured inside the game as its own running guild and clan. So if you wanted to join it, you can do so via that in-game menu as well. But yeah, essentially I should be featured as a creator clan, where my channel will appear live in-game. It's going to be using the same logo that I do use on YouTube. And what's really cool there is it is a one-click join system, so you should just be able to jump right into my clan. I don't need to invite you or anything. And you should be able to rock my decal on jackets, sleeves, chest, and even back, or anywhere that you like. There's also going to be a fresh leaderboard system, so let's try to get us to the top if we can. I think that would be pretty cool there. Again, hopefully everything is set up correctly with that. But if it's there, anybody can join my clan, and they can also rep the logo as well. So if you want, you can rep the Eutopia logo and also be in that clan and guild. And hopefully we can get us to climb the leaderboards and get near the top if we can. Just thought that was pretty cool. The first time my channel's actually going to be featured inside of a game, so I figured I'd mention that. Again, I will have those 10 keys over on my Discord you can win. So hopefully we can get a bunch of us to get the game as well. But yeah, you can also just request access on Steam, and I would try to do both, just to make sure you kind of guarantee yourself to get in there. Now, as I mentioned, I've been playing this game for quite a while, actually. I played all the way back in its early alpha days. Essentially, this isn't just some 4-team flat arena. It has a fully featured map here with wildlife that do kind of make it unique. And I actually had a ton of fun with this game. Originally, it was in a bit of a rough spot, but I do think they found their place on kind of the niche here in this indie game style version of it. I know a lot of people love that unhinged 80s biopunk features of it as well. As I mentioned, on top of that, it has a social hub and even creator events, which is tied basically into me as well. As I mentioned, the creator hub is kind of like the Destiny tower there, or even like a Fortnite lobby hangout. But it's actually got a ton of features inside this thing. You can talk to other players and chat around there as well. There's also like a team deathmatch section of it where you can even practice and train. And there's crafting, ability unlocks, skill points, and stuff like that. There's a ton of different vendors and really things that are actually really cool built into that section. Actually, a ton to kind of just be in that lobby area. I have always enjoyed when games do those. I really wish they would do it more often. Of course, there is always just the plain menu system if you wanted to do it that way. Now, as far as like a full release version of this game, they do plan, or at least targeting, a Q1 2026 launch. So they are actually gearing up to launch this game, which is coming to both Steam and the Epic Games platform. They have pushed back the release date from 2024 to 2025, then now into Q1 2026. So it does look like they are at least willing to kind of slip the date if they think the game needs more time, which is a good thing. Delaying the game is always better than releasing something buggy or that's not ready. The typical pattern for games like this is they eventually do release a last big beta, then they have 4 to 8 weeks to polish with some bug fixings there and the marking ramp. So the kind of earliest date we could see here is late February 2026. More realistic, I would say, is March 2026 for the release date. Because they tout it launching Q1 2026, it has to be between January and March. Or at least if it's set to launch then, that is the quarterly track. I actually do think it's a really good time to release. We don't get a lot of games between then. So I do think the perfect time is between there. Realistically, February, March does sound best. And with other games like GTA 6 getting delayed even further, yeah, it does seem like the perfect opportunity for another game to come into the mix. For those that are asking about the console platform, it is PC focused right now, but they do have future plans to release on the console platforms, Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, and they are also working on a Mac version. Of course, nothing official yet as for announcements, dates, or even a window when we could see that, but they do have plans for it, so it might eventually come to the console platforms. We'll just have to wait and see. There's also another cool mention here. This happened recently with their closed beta into this next one, but they have actually done a patch here with the lighting overhaul and VFX overhaul as well. Some additional onboarding for glow up for new players. You can check out some of the screen caps here for it that they have done, and it's starting to come along really well and look really good. I know I've mentioned this thing a few times now, but I played this game many years ago, and it's come a very long way. So they're putting a ton of work into it, and it's cool to see that they are still updating the game. I am super curious on your guys' thoughts with this game, potentially if I do keep covering it, etc. And for those of you that do jump into the actual beta with me, let me know how your experience was. Of course, you can give your feedback on their Discord channel. You can also talk about it in my off-topic channel, on my Discord, or even leave a comment here when you do eventually play it. I do think it's worth to jump in and to just check it out and try it. I did have a decently fun time with it. Overall though, it should be covered for today's video. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, and until the next one. Deuce!